Okay, I just need to make sure that I'm sitting down and I'm also speaking more softly. Hey, Krishav, sorry. Okay, so I was just sitting there. Could you guys hear me before? All right, now I'm gonna angle the camera too. All right, because I'm gonna be looking at the screen. And I'll be able to read the screen much better too. Everybody okay? Krishav, welcome to class. Zach, Raj, the weather, it looks like it's 80 and sunny throughout next week. Yeah, I see. Okay. I thought it was going to rain on Tuesday. That's what Google told me. Okay. In fact, Alexa, or maybe, I don't know. What's the forecast for Tuesday?
It says 77.
It'll be partly cloudy with a high of 74 and a low of 57.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Why don't we come to class next Tuesday? Okay. So no online class next Tuesday. We'll come to class. I'm happy because I actually have a great time in class. I love seeing you guys, and I get to, enjoy my ride with Pandane, my son, and we'll talk about these interesting topics in the car. So I'm totally for the, in-person class, but I just think that it may be preferable to you guys. I don't want you guys to be sitting here grudgingly. So that's what it is, okay? So when you're trying to learn something interesting, I think I would like to make your path to the knowledge as lubricated as possible, easy, free of distractions and something that you'd like to do. And I think inconveniences should be minimized as much as possible because, some of these things require heavy duty thought. 2A is okay, but assuming that you're going to be computer scientists, okay, and becoming software engineers in the future, just passing 2A is not enough. You got to develop this algorithmic way of thinking, and that only comes with practice. And I don't know where I was going with that, but actually, I totally lost my train of thought there. Okay, but basically, that's what we'll do. Well, I enjoy coming to class, and I'm happy. We'll meet in class next Tuesday. Okay, so we'll have this discussion about if there's a weather forecast that says this is going to rain heavily on a Tuesday or Thursday. We'll say no class, right? Not no class because lots of professors just cancel class. I think we don't have to cancel class. We can just have a class. It'll be online. Yeah. Okay. So that's fantastic. All right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. What time is it now? Let's not waste any time. And it's only 6:06. That's great. Six minutes in. What we'll do is today, someone here, let's pick someone. Okay. It's not someone in class because, Ian did it last time, Krisha, Ian, and then who was it last time? No, Megan. Where's Megan? Megan, you're not here today? Okay. All right. So maybe she'll join later. Okay. Megan was, doing the screen last week. Okay. So someone else today. And I'm thinking, all right, how about Zach? Okay. Because you only got half the camera on your face. So how about, okay. How about this? Okay. Would you like to share your screen and just go to an anonymous window, Chrome or Safari? This is a Mac or a PC?
I have a Mac.
I can hear you. By the way, you got to switch it on, and we'll just start diving into code sooner and sooner every class. I hope that is you guys find that okay. Yeah. Okay. The first few classes it's okay. We have small talk and stuff like that, but we've got a lot of ground to cover and a lot of exciting ground to cover too. And it'd be a real pity if we get to the end of quarter and say there's so many interesting things that we could have done but we didn't do. Yeah. And so I know that I suggest these as extra credit projects. But sometimes unless it's actually forced, even the interesting extra credit projects, okay, in my experience, unless sometimes it's forced down the throats of students, students actually don't do it, okay, because students always have lots and lots of things to do, okay, lots and lots of things. And if you don't make it as tempting as possible to grab as much of their mind to share as possible, like Fortnite, you're going to lose it to someone else. So that is the perpetual challenge, I think. So you got to be like super duper sure. So we'll get into this, right? And really quickly. But here's the idea I had. Well, what time is it now? All right. How about 6:08? All right. How about until 6? Let me see. How much time do we need for that? So here's the idea I had. Okay. Before we get into the demo of make a name by you guys. Okay. Each of you is going to take turns in sharing your screen and say this is my make a name. Don't show the code. Run it with someone else's name, random person from the rest of the audience, and then we'll see what your algorithm does, okay? And you can talk briefly about that, 1 minute each. And, you'll even have time to hack up a really quick make a name yourself from the time the first person demos it. Okay. So I think that'll take about a half hour at most. We'll all be done with all of the demos by then, hopefully. Okay. So today's class, I wanted to experiment with something which I think used to work in online GDB. And I mean, I don't know where Chris is, right? Yeah, maybe he can correct me, but I think it works in online GDB. Okay. So let's try this. Just go to, this is an experiment. Okay. After this, you can do your demos. Okay. Just go to a Google tab, online, just open a new tab, Google. And type in ANSI character codes. Is that right, Chris? ANSI character codes? No, not NC. ANSI. 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 I think it's no ANSI. ANSI. Okay. Oh, you even say ANSI table. Yeah. All right. ANSI. Hmm? Yeah. This is the one. Okay. So look for. Oh no, look for ANSI control sequences, not ANSI character. I'm so sorry. Okay, Zach, right? ANSI control sequences. ANSI control sequences. I think that's what it is. Okay, all right. Yeah. That's really cool. You click on the first one, or first or second or whatever it is. Okay. Now there is something in here for positioning the cursor at a certain row and column on screen. Okay.
It's called an escape sequence.
Oh, you found it already. Okay. All right. So somewhere in this page, it is there, and Chris has found it. What is it? It is escape.
Escape sequence.
Oh, escape. All right. So, all right, we know what it is. All right. So let's go to the GDB window. All right. So it's in here. You guys can find it later. Okay. So let's say we want to say hello world, but we want to say it at a certain location. Let's say 25, 20. Let's say 25, 25. Okay. So we'll find out what 25, 25 is. Oh, maybe that's not a good idea. 25, 100. Okay, that's much better. Okay, 25, 100. So, all right, C out, above, right? Yeah, next line after C out. Before C out, after line 16. Yeah, hit enter. Right, now type in C out, left shift. Now we want to push the escape character. Okay, the escape character is not really visible on screen, but it kind of primes the console to think, oh, something special is on its way. Okay. So, and its ASCII value is 27. Okay. So here's your experience in trying to print something to screen without using the printable version of it. Okay. And the way you do that is say forward slash. Yeah. I'm sorry. Single quote. Sorry. Yeah. And in here, you want to say backslash. Yeah. I think backslash A. Actually, I forgot the escape sequence, right? We'll just say, go to line 7. We'll do it the proper way, okay? Line 7. Yeah. And say char, uppercase ESC, right? Space, uppercase ESC. Yeah. Equals 27. Okay. No, and on the right of the semicolon, put a comment. On the right of the semicolon, put a comment saying this is the escape character on the keyboard. Okay, or you can just say escape character on the keyboard. Okay. All right. All right. Now here on line 8, you want to first push the escape character. Escape. Yeah, and then you want to push the sequence. Open square bracket. Okay, open square bracket. Yeah. Escape. And then what is it, Chris? Escape sequence. Row, comma, column. Row, semicolon, column.
Yeah. Row, semicolon.
Oh, and then H. All right. It's crazy, isn't it? And the reason it looks so contrived and strange is really because it is ancient history. Back from the days when we didn't have these fancy GUIs and we were dealing with teletype terminals. One generation up from print type, you only see the printed thing, right? The next generation, I was a part of the generation where you didn't even see the printed output. You'd only see the output in the form of punch cards, which you decipher, with the holes. And then the next generation was you get the output, but it was printed output. That's how you interact with the computer. And the next generation was you interact with the computer, but it's through a terminal. But no fancy graphics. It's all terminal. Little characters. And despite that, we kind of figured out interesting ways of doing cool graphics, even though you only had this ASCII things, because this urge to do funny, creative, bend the rules. I think it's intrinsically software engineering. I don't know, in many ways. So these codes are very hacky, but they allow you to do a lot of really cool things, which otherwise you would not have been able to do. There's no direct means into the control of the console other than right? Other than hardware. So this says, you can send software signals, but we'll change them into corresponding hardware signals destined for the screen. So that if you, let's say you want to make the screen lighter, right? How do you make the screen lighter? You can tweak the knob, right? But the beauty of ANSI is that, no, don't worry, right? Because it's something that can be controlled from software, the brightness of the screen. So why don't you just send us a control sequence, escape, a square bracket, dim display 50% semicolon. Okay, that means that automatically will do that in software. Okay, so that kind of and that's hypothetical. So they have a lot of hardware, theoretically hardware controls of the monitor that are exposed at the software level using these ANSI codes. I don't know, there's a long-winded explanation of what these ANSI codes are, but the net effect of this is that, get rid of the closing square bracket. Okay, and after that, you want to push, say, 25. No, after the double quote. Is that no, not the number 25. I'm sorry, you had the position, you had the cursor in the right place. Okay, go inside the quote. There you go. Right, you want to say 25, row 25, and column 100. Okay, let's say 25 semicolon 100 H. I think he said H. I think the case doesn't matter. No, I don't think the W is required. So you can check the page. If it doesn't work, we'll check. Okay. All right. Good. Now on the right of that, put a comment. Put a comment after the semicolon, after the put. Right. Move the cursor to column. What is it? Column 25, row. Row 25, column 100. Row 25, column 100. Okay. Now you want to say, see out hello world. The hello world should appear there. That's all. Okay. That's our little experiment. Okay. So, and at the top, before IO stream, you can put a comment there. Our little experiment to find out whether ANSI codes work in online GDB. That's our comment. Okay. Because that's our little experiment, because we don't know. I'm pretty sure, when I did this project with Chris one time, Chris did this thing when he was a student. He did an extra credit project of using these ANSI codes to spin a cube, and I think there's a link somewhere. Maybe I'll share it on Reddit sometime, right? So you can do complete animation of a 3D cube spinning in space using just ANSI codes, and he did that. Where was I going with that? So when you did that, I forgot what I was going to say. Hang on. Right. So when he did that, we never did that in online GDB, I think, right? GDB. This is onlinegdb.com, right? I think he did that in VS Code or some private editor he had. So we never got an opportunity to find out. So here, this would be a good opportunity for us to find out. This is, random website out there. Is it respective? Does it respect ANSI codes? Right? So now if you run this, we should see hello world, but it should be not in the usual place. It should be in some random place. It didn't do that. Run again. Hey, Chris, can you check the code there? Can you see the code? Oh, this is not even on. You guys didn't see it. And nobody mentioned anything. All right, PC. Nobody mentioned anything. You guys couldn't see the screen. I was just talking away. Raj, I'm sorry, okay?
But this is probably just a dumb question. Why isn't there single quotes around the 27?
Oh, because good question. Because 20, we don't have single quotes, because 20, we want a number 27, but the ASCII value 27 is what escape is. Is escape 27, by the way? Maybe someone needs to check. Is escape 27? Isidore? I think escape is 27. Okay.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what the error about.
ASCII value. Hey, Google, what is the ASCII value of escape? I think it's 27.
Yeah, it's 27.
All right, okay. Oh, wow, look at this. I just spoke and it just picked it up on the screen. How did it pick it up? Maybe, Windows has got it big. Yeah. Oh, so Windows has got a hey Google built into it.
That was Cortana.
Huh? Cortana, but I said, hey, Google. Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, Google, close the window. Hey, Google, close the current window. Well, it doesn't listen to me when it doesn't want to.
I think you just typed it in.
Even look at that, even highlighted escape. So I think it's some kind of AI in there. It probably did a search and it presented the first thing. So I think default. They got this AI built into the default search now in Bing. I've just been using Chrome all the time, and I just get the default. And sometimes I get AI suggestions, but very rarely. All right. Anyway, so why is Hello World not appearing at? Is this correct, by the way, Chris? Is it you got?
I still can see the projected screen.
Why is this on? Oh, I gotta switch this again. Okay. How about this? All right. Now I can see it. Thank you. Can you see the code? Maybe I should do a control plus or something. A command plus. No, command plus. No, Windows plus. Now, how do I increase the price? Oh boy. Oh, it only just does these. Hmm? Oh, there you go. What it is supposed to do is print hello world, but at that funky location. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is just supposed to do that, but at that location. Now, if anyone's got a Mac, has anyone got a Mac? I just want to make sure that it works on a Mac, okay? Can you just copy that code, just run it on a terminal in Mac? Just make sure that when you run it in your terminal, actually, why don't we, hey, Zach, I want to switch with either Panani or Raj.
Jack has a Mac.
Hey, Zach. All right, why don't you go to a Mac terminal? Just go to a Mac terminal. Copy this code. Command A and copy the whole thing. Command A and copy the whole code. I didn't do anything to the screen now.
If I remember correctly, I don't
Wait, let me share it on.
escape character.
Sorry?
I don't think that's how you instantiate the escape. You have to use hexadecimal. So you do \x1b.
Oh, I think no. Let's see the output. It didn't say 27. It didn't give us the number 27. It sent the value 27. That's what we want. Maybe let's typecast it. Let's typecast it 27 to. Let's make sure it works on. All right. So right. Oh, you got it? Not Eliza. So yeah. Copy this code, and put it in. Did you copy it?
Yeah, it's right here.
All right. So it didn't go to that location. Hang on. Just can you edit this file? I'm so sorry. This is taking up time. Really, we want to go to the demos. How about this? Why don't we go to the demos? I'm going to figure this out. Okay, I'm going to figure this out. Why don't we go to the demos? We'll show this. And while this is going on, maybe either Chris or Panani, right? One of you, doesn't matter. Anyone, dive a little bit deeper into this and find out why that escape code isn't working. It has to work in Mac. If it doesn't work in online GDB, yeah, okay, maybe it's because of some weird thing that they're not interpreting, and we don't have any right to demand that. But on a Mac, we know it works. Yeah, because in a Mac terminal, I think it's ANSI compliant.
If it works, then what will be?
You should see hello world, but you shouldn't see it there. You should see it here in the middle of the screen. It should print hello world at row 25, column 100, or something like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure one of you will find out, okay? Because Chris is actually, he got his thing to work on a Windows machine, that cube spinning, yeah?
Well, last time I used Docker, so I virtualized.
No, so it is a terminal anyway. So it should work on Mac. It should definitely work on Mac. So if it doesn't, we'll get back to it, okay? But in the meanwhile, let's go into the demos. I think it's, we shouldn't take up any more time. But anyway, the idea I had was if we're able to position the cursor, we can actually do a really, really cool game, okay? So what we did with Erica was MFA Heaven. Well, I should change it. It's called MFA Heaven, where you show a number and then erase the number, disappear the number. And then we did a cool, different hack. We went back to the beginning of the screen and printed all spaces that erased the number. Yeah, that was a hack. But here we're going to do this, we just go to a certain location on the screen and print spaces. In fact, we can do better. If we go to a certain location, we can even 2 lines. So I thought, yesterday I had this idea when I was walking. We'll actually create a game and we'll call it Mango, right? And not mango like a fruit, M-E-N-G-O. And the reason I say, and we'll our comments too. And the reason I say mango is menjog, okay, menjog, okay, menjog, okay. So memory jogger, okay, but it's memory jogger, but the mem jog. But linguistically, that if an M and a J are together, the M will become more palatalized and it'll become an N. Yeah, it happens in all languages. So I think. Yes? You are correct. Yeah, all right. So I think, we'll just call it menjog, right? Not memjog. And so we'll implement the very first version of menjog, where if you want to remember, let's say sonnet, some sonnet you're trying to remember. Yeah? It's going to print 2 lines, 2 random lines chosen at the sonnet. From the sonnet, it's going to print it at a given location, some rectangle, right? And then it's going to keep it there for 5 seconds or 10 seconds. You can have a timer. Right? And after that, it's just going to disappear it. Basically print rectangles, the spaces. It's gone. Now you got to type it in yourself. And then you can either do the first cut, you can basically say, if it's not identical, including spaces and punctuation, you're done, right? You got to remember exactly everything about that. You can start with 1 line and then 2 lines and so on as the levels improve if you want, right? But essentially, it's just going to jog your memory. So I think if you play this repeatedly or, sitting somewhere on a bus, at the end of the ride, you may actually remember a complete Shakespearean sonnet that you have an exam on. Yeah? Okay, so I think that is really cool. So it doesn't have to be a Shakespearean sonnet. Anything that you're trying to remember, like a musical piece or a passage, you can feed into this thing. And I'll show you how to do this when we start doing the game. It's just going to be one of many elements that you'll pick at random, and you'll show 2 lines. And then it'll be shown with a countdown, and after 5 seconds, it's going to disappear. Actually, if you're interested, I can actually show you how to do this on a Mac, on other devices, because right now we're doing it using ASCII hacks, everything is like that. But if you do it on an iPad or you can do all cool effects like sound and fading in and fading out and everything, right? It'll be much nicer. If you're interested, I can show you that as an extra. Actually, by the way, if you're done with all of the 9 quests, some of you are. Isidore, you're done, right? Yeah. If you're interested in an extra credit project, I'm happy. Do you know JavaScript and all? You do, and you're familiar with web technologies and cloud? Cool. All right. Okay, great. All right. So we'll do an extra credit project where maybe we'll develop a version of this game in JavaScript with bells and whistles. And it's just an extra credit thing. And instead of this, maybe we'll use musical notes and say, oh, do you hear that? I don't know. Or you can use sonnets, or you can have a drop down, or even, right? So I want to play sonnets. I want to play random numbers. Oh, that's just an extra credit. So that's the kind of extra credit you can do too. I think Chris did something like that when he was a student.
Just to move cursor to where, how can I share my screen?
Oh, just share it. Oh, who is sharing now?
Can I have the Zoom link?
Who's sharing now? Oh, you're not in the meeting?
Yeah. Go to your run the camera. You can log in the camera.
Oh, I see. I need to send it to him because he's not. Constantine.
Go to delphi.com/hard. Delphi.com/hard.
Yeah, that's a really nice use case. Delphi.com/hard. This just picks a random dictionary name that's easy to remember, and it makes that association for 5 minutes. Is that right? Is that right, Panini?
/ I
don't know.
And it's able to do lots of short words because it only uses it for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a nice business case. Yeah, totally. So yeah, if you're interested, Isidore, I'm happy to do that. But anyone who's done all 9 quests, because you're going to be bored. And rather than start working on green quests already, don't do that. Wait until at least the December break when you start working on green. And so you should use this time to help other students who are probably going to have questions in blue, but also if you want, seal in your points by doing the extra credit. Okay, everybody, because I know lots of people are actually marching ahead. So if you finish it soon and you're starting to feel bored, let me know. And you can continue to dog the blue even during the extra credit thing, right? It's a project. So it's not like it's going to take up all of your time. This is offer is open to everyone. Okay. Yeah, and any extra stuff that you don't know, I'll be happy to walk you through. All right. Okay, great. How about we start with the demos? We'll start with that corner. We'll start with Juliana and anyone. It doesn't have to be everyone, but anyone who has some online GDB link to show. Yeah, everybody. Juliana, you got something, right? Yeah, just make a name. But you can do it later. You want to do it later?
No, I have something.
All right, great. So how does it work? Who's sharing the screen right now? I think it's
that's me.
Oh, Chris, you are sharing right now. Oh, yeah. Is it working? Oh, so if you give it no, but that is exactly the same. So if you do it this way, oh, hang on. It's not LU. All right, that's the line number. Yeah, that's the semicolon and then number H. I think we did lowercase h. No, hang on. What is it? No, wait. Oh, Chris. No, this is Chris's screen. Zach, did we do lowercase? Chris,
Yeah, we did lowercase. We didn't do higher case.
Lower H and see if it works. Maybe the case is important. Oh, wow. I think that is my only hypothesis. Okay. Hey, Zach, you don't have to confirm it or share the screen, but certainly you should try it out and find out if that was the culprit. Okay. So if you change it to uppercase,
That was the case. I changed it and it worked.
oh, it worked. It worked. Did it? Hey, you got a
Yeah,
question?
it worked.
All right. All right. Oh, so that is really cool. Okay. That means online GDB respects ANSI codes. Yes. So, oh, it is supposed to hello. You're supposed to look at hello world, but it should be here. It should be 25 rows down and then here. You should say hello world here, not here. Right now it says here.
Can that person share the screen? Because I changed the lower.
And it didn't work? No. Well, why don't you share your screen and then we'll fix it? Because it should work to everyone, for everyone. Hey, Roger, you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
Also,
Zach.
this works.
Yeah, Chris, after,
I put them quotes on 27 with the.
No, not single quote double. Oh, we had single quote 27?
No.
We had the number 27, yes?
Just number. Oh.
Yeah, that is,
No.
that should be the exact same as /x 1b. Oh, not 1b. Yeah, 1b. Yeah, that should be exactly the same. The number 27 should be /x 1b. So something funky going on there.
That exact same thing worked for me. So I don't know.
Online GDB, we need to single quote the 27.
No, you can't. If
Did
you
that same thing work for you on
will complain.
online
You
GDB?
can only single quote one character at a time.
Yes.
If you remove the space between semicolon and
I can share it again if you want.
Oh, so why did it go? It went somewhere. Oh, it's I say yeah. That's right. The H started here and then wrapped around to LOL. So it actually went to column 100. So instead of 100, if it said 50, right, it would appear somewhere in the middle. All right, cool. So if you say 150 instead of 100, it'll appear somewhere in the middle. Oh, you actually made it happen. Cool. All right, so it works. So this is what I have in mind. Okay, we can actually do this game completely in ASCII. It's really cool, isn't it? And now later on, I can show you how you can actually turn it into a Linux command, which basically looks in a directory or if you argument directory to look for stuff like a subdirectory of sonnets, a subdirectory of things that people try to remember, right? Or just random numbers and so on and so forth. You can actually pick them with flags and just run it. And the same thing can be turned into an iOS app, Android app, because the logic is exactly the same, right? You just have to pick it, show it, except with these devices, you can have more bells and whistles. So literally bells and whistles. Yes, you can have it fade in, fade out, colors, sounds, jingles, and all. It'll be fun. This is not like nobody's done this. Everybody does this. All students do these kinds of things. But the thing is, you do it in a way that is fun. Have fun while doing it, not thinking that you're doing something to change the world, but you're doing something because it's fun. And then you'll just, you'll feel cool about doing that, I think. So yeah, totally get into this. I think. All right. Okay. All right. So this is what we want to do. So you can write a game. I think by the end of today, we'll write one game, which will just do sonnets. We'll just pick one sonnet from the web, but next time, maybe I'll show you. And I was thinking maybe introduce arrays already. Because we talked about branching and branching and looping, and we don't have to talk about arrays until next week. But I'm thinking that today we'll start using arrays. Right? We don't have to understand arrays yet. We'll start using arrays, and while you're doing the demos, I'll think of ways in which we can have lines of the sonnet as different elements of the array. So we can just pick two at a time and just show it in that rectangle. And then we'll write all functions. We'll just do it in a modular way. So that we'll just say, say at. We'll write a function called say at, which will just, go to that location and then say, and then, paint the rest of the rectangle with spaces or something like that. So that's all you have to worry about. Then you say at, sleep 5 seconds, right? And then say blanks, gone, right? And then ask with a cout, prompt, what was it? I don't remember, tell me, right? And then compare. And then if they got it right, they go move on to the next level. Otherwise, they say, too bad. Something like that. You can do variations of this, lots and lots of things. And then if you put it in a loop, and you're playing it on a bus, you automatically say, oh, I got to get all the words right and the same words. Because I was, very much like this, dictionary screensaver they have on Macs. If they have words, many words, it's, at first I thought they were random, but I think, the more I look at it, the more I believe that the likelihood is high that the words and the choice of the words are not random, right? Because, why should they do random? Because random words are not going to be interesting. They have an algorithm that actually figures out a neighborhood of words. And also not just, one dimensional like that. I think, it's true, purely hypothesis. They also have a pattern, backed by some research. Let's say, if a word is shown without meaning like 5 days before, right, and consistently, and then suddenly shown with meaning, maybe there's research there that shows. So maybe that. So if you watch these arcs, like movies, right, and you recognize these longer range patterns. So it's like that. So you can try and work these patterns into these games too. All of that will, you can do, I think. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to do. I'm actually looking forward to do it. I'm doing it with all of you guys. So how about now we go into the demos? And as soon as the demos are over, 6:35, how about we start at 7 o'clock? Yeah, 7:05 or something like that, and start working on this game. Yeah, I think 1 hour is more than enough. We'll actually make a major headway by then. Yeah. And I totally, those of you who are ahead on quests, okay, extra credit, you can do something like this, right? You can say, I want to take this game and turn it into something else. And if you've done all 9, this offer is open to everyone who's done Blue 9, because we don't have to wait until you dog it. So if you pop Blue 9, then you can do the extra credit in parallel with your dogging. Is that okay? Yeah, but I think most of you will get there. Maybe, week 6 or 7, many of you will be done with most of the quests in Blue, right? By the time, if you're ready, just let me know. And we'll just pick something that's interesting, and you can work on that. And then at the same time, you can keep dogging these quests. Is that a plan? Yeah, because I think at the rate we're going, we can actually cover a lot of material, but doesn't mean after we cover it, we have to give it up, right? Because we cover things at a fast pace, doesn't mean that the class is always fast, because we have 12 weeks, right? So even if we cover something fast, if you don't understand something here, you can always ask and we'll come back to it. Yeah? So we'll just keep doing that. So I think this mode of learning, maybe, right? Instead of, doing a one pace, we just do like, it's just like when you iron clothes over a crease over and over again, and then eventually it disappears, right? So we'll try it like that, and say we'll just go fast and then keep coming back. I think that'll be more fun. Let's experiment with that, because I think that if you, if you can see the end, it's it pulls you towards it too. So it's better to give you a taste of here you can do this. Now let's try and do something that's similar, and we keep doing that again and again. You'll have more fun. Okay, all right. How about so we take Juliana can take the screen. Sorry to take up your time. Okay, I was eating into your time. 2 minutes gone there. Okay, all right. So Juliana, so why don't you do the demo? You can even talk about it if you want. You can come here too, actually, because that'll be better. You can if you want, right? Up to you. No, because next week we'll all be online. Well, not next week. Maybe. No, next week we'll have good weather. So the week after that. That's 50%. 50, all right, okay. All right. All right, okay. Well, I'm not looking forward to it, but I thought it'll be fun. All right, okay, great. Hey, Sahil, Rebecca. Oh, Rebecca's not well today. She's all right, so you guys have all got to switch on your cameras, okay? And in fact, you know what? Julian, you can increase the size of the gallery by pushing that vertical bar, because your screen is not like that big. You see the vertical bar on the right of the thing? Right next to the photos, right next to the photos.
Oh, it's like a small line.
The thin, yeah, the middle. You see that bar in the middle? Yeah. No, on to the right of that. Maybe only I can see it.
Going to the right. More to the right.
Oh, she can't even. Oh, I see. She's sharing a window. So it's me. It's me. I'm sorry. It's me. Okay. So I got to do this. I thought it was. All right. So now everybody's here. All right. Okay. Hey, Dylan is here. He wasn't here before. Dylan. Hey, where's Caden? He's not here. All right. Okay. Eric, welcome to class. And Ben, I didn't see you guys before. Okay. That's great. All right, okay. Hey, Juliana, go ahead, okay? So you can minimize all these things. Everybody follow, let's follow exactly the same thing. We'll get in, go to online GDB, and then minimize the blue part, minimize the white part, and then we can just go into our demo. And without looking at the code, let's look at the behavior. this is much better visibility for me.
I was wondering if you need to mute so I can update the professor.
Oh, what should I do?
So I can mute.
Oh,
So, I hello.
Yeah, I heard her before the thing came on the speaker. But
Yeah.
probably going from here all the way to wherever assumes that data center is. You don't need it. Yeah, you can put it on. Yeah. Just turn it down. Yeah. Turn it off.
Hello.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Now you don't. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
but the online students can hear you through the.
Yes.
Through the microphone. But this is strange. Like, there's a- Oh, they don't have okay, all right.
Yeah, so basically I just used the same code that we were working on last week, and I did like a small change at the end. I'm not the most creative person, so it was a very simple change. So when it runs, it's gonna ask for my name. And
Oh, you got the timer. Did we do the timer last time?
yeah,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
and then basically I just switched the vowels.
It's pretty cool. Gelano? 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 Gelano.
Yeah, so what I did is if the vowel is A, I change it to O, and then every other vowel just change it to A.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I can tell. Maybe let's try someone else's. But you need people with A's. Yeah.
Your name.
Yeah. A&D. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Last name, but it's hard to spell. So let's start A&D. But it won't work on ampersand. Would it work on ampersand?
On what?
If you just had ampersand instead of A and A&D, if you just type ampersand, you're.
I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Oh, like that, like that. Yeah, no, it wouldn't work probably. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's five. I will try to one. I know. Okay, well, no, it's kind of, you know, it is very similar to the pronunciation that you people have. It's not explicitly so. Yeah, because that is a native pronunciation for generally English. Because the stress pattern is not.
I just noticed a little bug, but I can fix it. It didn't change the capital letter.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, it was supposed to change it to O. Yeah, I can. Oh. Yeah.
You need the first part, you know?
Yep.
You were Juliana with J there endorsement.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's actually cool. Thank you, Juliana.
Mm-hmm.
How about Kira? You got one?
Oh, can you come back to me?
Yeah, sure, no worries. Vivian, did you already share something on the net? Because, I like the post. You made a post on the sub about some things. And I think I tell Vivian the game about it. But anyway. Changing screen?
Yeah.
Professor, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
Are you speaking, Professor? Hello?
I think he is. I can see him talking, but I hear no sound.
Yeah, me neither. Please.
He wasn't even recording me then.
No, it's recording your mouth movement. Not recording yourself. Not speech.
Not recording myself, but it would be recording me through you guys' computers, yeah?
Yeah, we're all muted.
Oh, you're all muted. Okay, all right, okay. So you just got that. Okay, so you got to use AI later on, like 50 years later, to reconstruct what I said. Actually, at that time, you can even fake my mouth movements, obviously, right? So all right. So you can make me say whatever you want me to say. All right. So here we go. I think this is a fantastic exercise. Play with switch statements and use this as an opportunity to learn all about switch statements. The two things that I want to emphasize most are there's something called default, okay? Default in switch statements. Make a note, right? Find out what default in switch does. Right? You can discuss it in the forums. Maybe, maybe Roger says, when I found out there's someone to know something else, and maybe someone else chimes in too. And that's the other thing I say, right? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Vivian and a few other people have been making posts, but I think all of you should make lots and lots of posts, okay? It's not just a few people. And I know you're doing work, but also keep posting, because those are things that you can also refer to in your final report. Yeah, but that's not the only reason. Keep on posting, because if you don't post, then even the class becomes a chore. Not because the reason, if you keep posting, you'll not be far away in orbit. You'll always be drawn back. Even if you start drifting, someone will just pull you back, nudge you back slightly, right? So you won't be drifting too far. You'll always be in the vicinity. And so as long as there's activity, but if there's no activity, you start to drift, right? And it's harder to come back. Okay, after a week, you say, all right, I'm going to do computer science and C++, right? That's much harder. Just stay in the orbit, okay? Even if you're not doing it actively, post something, right? Post some nonsense, right? Just keep, I would greatly encourage that, okay? I'm glad I got an opportunity to say that today. So please do that. So, yeah. And that's one of the things I wanted to say, right? I was very happy with your post, because it was, a post that was also stirring discussion. It was about semicolons. Was it about semicolons? No, it was Isidore. Yeah. Isidore, you asked about semicolons, okay? Yeah, and Anton, where's Anton? You actually remember that. Anton replied saying he's very interested, okay, in the grammar or something like that enforces these things, because you don't need that in Python, but you have it in C++. So what is the reason, right? So and it's very interesting to ask these questions. I like that kind of question. I like the kind of question that Vivian asked. Actually, I forgot the question that you asked. Can you really quickly paraphrase that? No, just say, what was it about? Yeah, I read it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, there's a practice calculation, miles per gallon or whatever it is, right? And she did that and posted. That's all the kinds of things that are really, really cool. because it also has scope for variation. You can try other things, and I actually like that. Okay, so those are the things I wanted to mention. But on a related note, I came to know that the LOCIF notes are actually sold to the department or the division, right? So the division kind of owns notes. And I think one of our faculty got told not to use it or discouraged from using it. So I want to be careful that we don't infringe on any rights, because I don't technically own it, right? It's the department owns it. So try and refrain from openly quoting these things. It's okay. That's okay. I don't think Michael is going to come raining down on us. But let's try and say we won't make. And I'll try and remove reference to it from the spec sheets and other places. But there's copies of these things. Everything is in the book, and also you can just go to the Stanford and all these other repos. They all have lecture notes and everything, right? It's all there now. But this was done a long time ago. It was very useful then. It still is useful, but you can get a lot of stuff now. So yeah, go. And I'm pretty sure me and all the other classmates will point you at these resources. Okay, so I'm gonna slowly start phasing it out before someone comes rapping down on us. And yeah, so I just wanted to give you a heads up. Okay, I think you guys are okay, but at the same time, just be mindful of that. You can still use it, I'm pretty sure. I think if you go to the computer science club, the CS club, are any of you guys in the CS club at Foothill? So they have, they do some cool stuff, okay? And they have some interesting talks and all. You can check it out. It's actually fun. So they have a fork of his modules, and it's free. But you got to find out what the URL is, okay? All of it is in the book. The only problem with the book is that it's too fat and you don't know exactly where to go to. But all you need is a list of topics, right? So if you go to the LOCIF notes and find out all the list of topics, then you can just bookmark it in your book. You stick, put those tabs. You don't have to read through every page. That is what usually, turns most people off, is go to the places that are bookmarked, because that has been picked by lots and lots of professors who actually have gone and thought this thing through and saying, you don't want students to turn, so go jump, make these jumps. So yeah, absolutely try that. And I think you'll be fine. Thank you, Vivian. All right, so I'm sorry, you can go ahead. And after you, Caesar, are you ready to go after Vivian? Is it we can come back to you, Roger? Next, all right, here, on. Jonah, you want to skip?
I'm working through an error right now.
Yeah, okay. Can you fix it before Vivian's done? Okay. Hey, what about Ian? Can you do a demo after? So we only got Vivian, actually. After Vivian, nobody, unless Jonah's done.
I would, but
Oh, Raj, you got one.
No, I haven't yet. I'm
Akash already did it, unless you've changed it or something.
I'm trying to implement the valve.
Okay, all right. If you do it by then, you can do it. Yeah. And Ian, you're not going. You're not going to do a demo of just like Vivian. Are you going to do one? Because lots of people are not. This one. Make a name. Isidore, what about you?
Not really, but I was like using China. I want to see what the other. I can do one.
Yeah, okay, all right. If depending on, all right, okay. Okay, but you got something. You got some. Yeah, all right. Good. So we got some backups. Okay, one, and then I think Raj, you'll have something too.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Like,
2, 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and then 4. So yeah. I think we're good. You got one too?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, why don't you demo it too? All right. So Panini. So we got a bunch of people. Okay, so we got some interesting demos lined up. You got one too? Ready? Almost ready? Okay, but you'll have some ideas. Yeah, as you're seeing people do these demos, you'll have some ideas. Same with all of you.
I'll just do it.
No, as you see all these demos, you'll start feeling ready. Okay. So all right, we're good. All right, so whenever Vivian is ready, she'll start the demo, and after Vivian, we're going to go to Jonah if he's ready, Raj if he's ready, Akash if he's ready, Panini, or we'll do Panini and then go like that, because you already got it ready, right? So Juliana, Vivian, Panini, and then Raj and Akash and Jonah. We'll just go, whoever's ready. Just pick it up and thank you. All right. Hey, before you describe your logic, run it. So we'll just see the effect, and then you can explain the effect with your logic. Okay. And yeah, yeah, make the window big so that you don't see your code at all. Yeah. Yeah, like this. Okay. All right, we're gonna try other people's names too. All right, so because that's the name you would have almost certainly tried when you're debugging your own program. Yes? Okay, all right. So we want to try something that you didn't debug. Vivian. All right, okay. Well, it sounds more Star Trekky. Yeah. All right. Now try Isidore. Okay, now try Isidore. So what is it? What's going on here? You're changing I's to E's. I's to E's. Is that the only change? All right, let's try one more before you look at the logic. All right. And those who are coming up after Vivian, you can consider changing the timer from 5 seconds or 5 to just one of those, one or two. I see. Okay, all right. So it is EISI and Vivian. All right. Okay. It changed the O to a U also. O to a U. So you're doing more than just that. Okay. Pick someone else's name then. Mine or what would work nicely with your. Is it or is yeah? That's really cool. That's really cool. Thank you so much, Vivian. Okay. All right. Who is going next? Panini, you want to share the screen and show what you got? Yeah. All right. And they are still working on it. Jonah is probably still trying to debug his. And Roger also. Isidore, if you want to go, you can also. Otherwise, we'll just start working on that other game. Okay. I think we have time.
Oh, I see.
Great. What's I see. Oh wow.
I guess the only thing I did was I used this version of C, which is in microseconds instead of seconds.
Oh, I see. All right. Okay. So we were trying to get that to go before. It did require a different kind of include file at the top in order to be able to use don't sleep for 1 second, but sleep for half a second or something like that. That's what uSleep does, right?
Yeah. Or it's like many microseconds. So
I see. Oh, so why don't we use that later on when we actually start implementing these games, like racing games, well, 2 stars moving towards each other, because we'll be able to control the position once we have this move to under our belt. Yeah, we'll be able to control the position of individual characters on screen. Yes, so we can easily implement dungeons and all these other ancient games. They're actually very sophisticated games, even though they don't have fancy graphics like Fortnite. The algorithms that have been used in there, incredibly beautiful algorithms. Okay, and in fact, one of the things that goes to show is that you can actually develop engaging content without using any of the fancy stuff. You can just go to dumb terminals and using just the power that you have now, loops, control structures, all those, and vectors maybe, right? And a few other tricks that we'll learn along the way. And if you know how to position a cursor, you can actually do a lot of stuff. Because that's what all these things do, like Dungeons and Dragons, I don't know, Rogue or something like that, right? Where the only thing that happens, you're the star, right? You're a star character, ASCII, and you're just moving around up, down like that, and you can implement incredibly fun, logic and addictive experiences using that. But the thing is, here's my hypothesis. Okay, no matter what your constraints are, creative people will find ways to entertain others. Okay, so if you say, you can't do anything at all, you can only move your eyeballs, after 1,000 years, we'll find interesting ways of moving our eyeballs. Okay, because you can't do anything else. And so if you go back 20 years and look at the technology that was there, we don't have the fancy games that we, Skyrim and all these heavy duty graphics games and AI in the background. It doesn't mean that the people then were doing less sophisticated or less equally fulfilling intellectually, nice stuff. And some of that didn't require any of this, because if you factor it all out, at the end of the day, this is what we're going for. This is the core emotion in the story. And then after that, whether you build it, a fairy tale out of it, you get Cinderella, or you build tragedy into it and get Game of Thrones, but it's the same core story at the end. Because that's the kind of thing that I think happens. It's just my hypothesis. Okay. How did we start talking about that? But yeah, usually we'll try and do that. Okay, we'll try, extra credit maybe if you have an idea of your own, saying I'm going to develop a more sophisticated game. There was a student in CS2A who tried, I think she didn't have time at the end, but she actually tried to do this, right? She actually tried to do a game just using character positioning. It was not like a super complicated game, but it was the Snake or something like that. Snake. It's like a Unix Snake game. Yeah, she's a Pali student. And a student in Pali, and she didn't have time, obviously. If you're a Pali student, I think you have a lot of stuff to do. Speaking from personal experience, obviously, but she actually did that. So if you have time, and it's fun, okay? Just because it's been done already, because Unix Snake has been around for ages now, ever since the first thing came out. It's always been around for ages. I'm not going to do it. No, try and do it, because you'll discover interesting things about how things work just by doing something that someone's already done. Sorry. Hey, I'm sorry, Panini, I just took over your screen, okay?
No
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so mine just replaces vowels and consonants with consonants. With 50-50
Oh, what is it? Oh, I see. Vowels with consonant and consonants with vowels.
No. Vowels with vowels.
Uh-huh.
And consonants with consonants. So keep that the same.
Oh, I see.
One kind of neat thing we did was like this returns a pair, which we haven't gone over, but in order to get the number of characters changed as well. So we'll see when I run it.
Oh, I see. So, all right, okay. So here's what Panini is doing, right? So I know what's going on. Okay. So here's a challenge that many fresh C++ from Python or other languages, they program in C++. They say, well, I have to write a method that will return 2 values, not 1 value, or multiple values. Right? It's possible in other languages. You can just put them all in PHP, put them in, and return that. Yes. And the operating system, or the system will take care of it. In C++, no. All right. And so you have to create this structure yourself. Say it's a list, but it's only going to have 2 things. So I'm going to use something called a pair that only has 2 things in it. And obviously, they don't give you something like a triplet, but you get the idea, right? So if you want to return more than 1 thing, like he's trying to do, you got to return a structure. And he's just creating that thing called pair there, right? I'd rather you didn't use that yet, because it may throw some people off, but just overlook that, okay? We're just going for the logic. And so what you're trying to do is changing all the vowels to a random vowel and all the consonants to a random consonant. That is so cool. That is so cool. I've never tried that before. Can you try that on? Actually, you should try it on my name, because I got a lot of Juliana, or anyone who's got. It'll actually work on anyone's, right? Roger has got 2 consonants in the middle. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. You got a different kind of countdown. Hey, that is really cool. Okay. You experiment with these things, okay? And it's not just that dot thing that we tried in class. This is really cool. I like it. Why did it?
So the way that I'm checking if something is a vowel is if it's an A-E-I-R-U, a lowercase A-E-I-R-U.
Oh, same issue as Vivian. Is it Vivian or Juliana? One of them. Oh, yeah.
So capital letters are all considered.
Yes. Great. Thank you so much, Panini. Okay. This is really cool. Well, I won't expect all of you to, look at the pair code and things like that. But at the end of the day, if you did a switch statement, it'll be just as big. It'll be just as big with the kinds of things that you want to do. So that is really cool. Thank you so much. Okay. And I guess your inject suspense is also different. How about the next person to do the demo would be one of you guys, if you're ready, or Jonah or Roger, or we'll just go on to implementing the game that I had in mind.
With the cursor? With the cursor? Or a different game?
With the cursor positioning. Yeah. We want. Hey, Kira, are you ready? Hey, Kira's ready. Okay, so let Kira share the screen, and then we'll see the Kira's version. Rebecca, have you got a version? I didn't ask you, right? How about the online students? I never asked any of the online students. Rebecca, you got a version to demo?
Yeah, I can demo it.
I can hear you, by the way. I can hear you. I can. No, I can't hear Rebecca either, because she's. I can see her lips moving, but I can't see. I can hear her. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Every vowel is replaced with the next vowel. And then what's the A? Oh, you with A. All right. Okay, cool. Oh, so A, E, I, O, U, and then you go back to the, oh, I see. I see. Oh, that is really cool. Thank you. Thank you, Kira. I think you can go ahead. Are you, what am I doing here? Can people hear Kira? Online people? Hey, Rebecca, I couldn't hear you at all. Say something. No, you're totally muted. So I can hear you. But I have actually maxed out the volume. Okay, it's on green, 3 LEDs. Yeah, we're trying to do that. Hmm? All right. Can you guys online? Can you guys hear Kira? Kira, can you say something? I say just say hello, guys.
Hello, online students.
Hmm? Oh, it came through the speaker. Okay. Oh, so just a delay is so disturbing cognitively, yeah? Like even if it's a few milliseconds. All right, great. So people can hear you. So you can take the screen. I think I will have to. No, let me make sure. Since I can hear it, we can just hear Kira's natural voice, right? I can mute this, so we don't have to have the 2 offset versions. But the online students should be able to hear Kira. That's the only thing that I need to make sure. Can the online students hear Kira?
Yes.
Nobody's even answering. Oh, all right. Oh, I see. I just saw the thumbs up. Thank you, Dylan. Okay. Right. Great. All right, Kira, go ahead.
Oh, okay. What should I...
No, you can just talk. We're all here listening to you, your natural voice, and those guys will listen to through your microphone.
Okay. Here's my program. I check each letter in the name to see if it's a vowel, and if it is, then I switch it to be the next vowel. And
it's always the next vowel. I see. I see. I see. Oh, really cool. And is there any randomness at all?
No, there's no randomness.
I see. Oh, this is so you'll always get the same thing for the same person.
Yes.
Try mine because I got a lot of vowels.
Okay, I'm gonna do a lowercase.
Because you have the same thing, yeah.
So you get
NN, because that'll always be NN. Yeah, it'll always be NN. It's cool because I remember when Namrata wrote something like this, my name was always Iwimer. Right? I mean, Isidore is not here, but cool. Thank you so much, Kira. It's very nice. Did you have fun doing that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think that even though lots of people didn't start out when we started to the demo sequence, didn't have it, but in the process of other people demoing, you hack up your own, and it's really cool. Okay. So Akash and Raj, I don't know if they're ready. Who? Oh, in chat. Well, yeah, one of you just pick up the screen, okay? I don't have to check chat.
Rebecca was one.
Oh, Rebecca, I can't hear her. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, by the way.
Now because you forgot.
Oh, but all right, there you go. Say something, Rebecca.
Can you hear me now?
See, I can. So the volume's up now, and I can't hear her. Oh, you. From which speaker?
This one for right now.
All right. Yeah. Hey, Rebecca, try to minimize the amount of speaking you have to do, and just move your mouse around. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, reverses. Oh, I see you injected an extra space after the number, which is not symmetric before. This is really cool. Very nice. Oh, I see. Oh, you don't have to worry about the casing, uppercase and lowercase. Very nice, very nice. And what algorithm are you using to reverse the string? Is it the same as the one that Akash shared? Oh, it is. Oh, it's similar. It is not the same. It is similar. I see. Cool. Very nice. Thank you so much. Yeah. And oh, hang on. And oh, I see. This is interesting things to explore later for other guys. Is when you do that thing in the loop, do you need to go from here all the way to the end, or no? Because it's a new name, you have to go all the way to the end. I was thinking is an interesting side project for you if you're interested to take a string and reverse it in place, meaning you're not making a new string. You're going to reverse all the characters, but in place in the given string. Okay. So how do you do that? It's a very interesting, CS2A level thing. No hurry, but think about how you do that, regardless of language. You just have, and we'll do that with arrays, right? You got an array of numbers, you got to reverse it, right, in linear time. We'll get to know what linear time means and quadratic time means later on. It's interesting problems, icebreaker interview questions, right? Here's a string, reverse it in place. That kind of thing. All right, cool. If nobody else, who else was wanting to go? Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca. And we managed to do this without Rebecca having to speak. That is cool. So who else wanted to go? Was it Dylan? Benjamin. All right. So after Benjamin, we'll go into implementing the game. Okay. So we got time. Because we'll come back to this next week too.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. How come I couldn't hear Rebecca, but this is okay?
Well, Rebecca's microphone, like on her computer, probably.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. No worries. Hey Ben, share the screen and you can.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Can everyone see that?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. And you can dismiss that. Dismiss the. Yeah. How do you dismiss that? Oh, like that? Yeah.
I don't have any of the fancy countdown. I wasn't able to save that code.
Yeah. I was about to say, we should get rid of the countdown because it starts getting annoying after a while. Try Christopher, okay? Oh, Benjamin. Everybody tries their own name, to test their program. So you try. All right, okay. We want a long name. Oh, wow. Okay. That is so cool. Is this
repeats the characters.
Is this intentional?
Yeah, that was the point. It repeats the characters, like the first position repeats once, the second position repeats twice.
Wow, I see. Nice. Why did it wrap the line at after that H? Because it seems like it's a white terminal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting though. But this is really cool. So it repeats that many characters each time. Very nice.
Yeah.
Incidentally, if you're interested in these kinds of things, the total number of characters in a person's name, how do you find out? If the name is n characters long and you use Benjamin's algorithm, how do you find out the total number of characters to store? If you wanted to store this, Chris's name or anyone's name in an array, what is the size of the USB stick? Or what is the size of the array that he should request from the system, right? It's an interesting problem, isn't it? And it's kind of related to what we'll be looking at later on. That's why I want to toss it out to you. It kind of gives you a feel for, what is linear in complexity versus quadratic in complexity, right? Because you got to go into the square space now, which makes things fatter and faster, fatter and slower. So you get a feel for these things, I think. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ben. Okay. So how about now? You can just continue taking the screen. Hey, Ben, how about you take the screen and we'll do part of the game in online GDB, if that's okay with everybody. Yeah. And then we'll go from there. Is everybody okay with this? Yeah. Hey, Raj and Akash, you guys okay? You can share the link in Reddit if you want, unless you want to do a demo.
No, I'll submit it tomorrow.
Yeah. No worries. And Isidore, you too, right? If you got a version you want to share it on Reddit. All of you. All right. Okay. So just Control A and delete everything. We'll just start from scratch. And I think what we want to do is start with comments and say we want to implement a game in which we leverage the ability to say something at a specific place in the console. Okay, leverage the ability to say something. Next line, right? No, there's a vertical line. There's supposed to be a vertical line that says 80 columns. I didn't see it before. Now I see it. Oh, it just comes and goes. For me, the vertical line just comes and goes. It just now it's there.
Vertical line's right here.
Maybe it wasn't there before. All right. Anyway, so we want to implement a game in which we can leverage the ability to say something at a specific location on the screen, right? Specific location on the screen. Implement a game in which we to aid to jog a person's ability to remember things. Okay, and this game is called Menjog. Okay, so I just gave it a name too. It's called Menjog. Menjog. Menjog.
Menjog.
Yeah, because the M is a labial and the J is a palatal, so it just becomes labial itself too. So that's why I'm pretty sure we have words in English where you have that. Oh yeah, Jonah had some examples. Yeah, you said you've seen examples of that happen.
Yeah, that's happened.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. This is linguistic laziness essentially. All right. So to remember things, which is called mentor. All right. So this is our game. All right. So what we'll do is first, let's say we want to define a function. So we'll put it, yeah. All right. So let's say we want to define a function. So let's put a hash include IOStream. These are things that I can think off the top of my head we'll need. So hash include IOStream. I think we will use vectors, okay? So, and then vectors we're just going to introduce this week, okay? Don't freak out and all. We haven't used vectors before. Have we used vectors in the previous classes? No. Krishav used vectors or something, but we didn't ask him to. So we're going to use vectors. Vectors are just a form of array, and we're not going to talk about arrays this week. We'll talk about arrays next week, okay? So we've got 2 whole lectures to talk about arrays and then combinations of arrays with these things. So don't worry about anything. Vector is just an array of things. So we're going to use vectors. So for that, we're going to say hash include vector. And we'll also say, this is going to be a CPP file. We'll say using namespace standard, blank line and say using namespace standard. Thank you so much, Ben. Okay. All right. All right. Now, what we'll do is, what we're going to need. So should we do top down? Let's do it top down. Okay. So let's do main first. Okay. Let's do a main, int main. Right? And then, yeah, curly brace, right? And put a return 0 at the end. Thank you so much, okay? So Ben is, obviously he's experienced a little bit in C++. If this is going fast for any of you guys, you just have to tell us and we'll just slow down. Because I'm going fast now because this is all largely template code that we've done before. Yes or no, right? When we get to the meat of it, we'll slow down a bit. And if we're still going fast at that time, all you have to say is just slow down. Is that okay? Because the only reason I might still be going fast is I might be under the illusion we're still in the template code. Yeah, and you say, all right, we're done. Okay, so this is all standard stuff. We do this all the time. Yes. Okay. The only new thing here so far is hash include vector. So we've got this hash include vector. Right. So and we don't know what we're using vector for. I think we're going to use vector for. Okay. All right. So in main, I think what we'll do is we'll say all right. So let's say, all right, just stay with me at this point, okay? So we can say vector, open angle bracket, okay? Open angle bracket, and in there you're going to say string, okay? String, and close angle bracket, okay? And say sonnet equals, okay? Sonnet equals, and then curly brace. I don't know if you can initialize a vector like this, but it should be possible. Okay, we'll try this. Otherwise, there's other ways of initializing a vector. Okay, yeah, enter. No, curly brace and then enter. This is just a stylistic thing. Yeah, enter. All right. So and then put a semicolon after the closing curly brace. This is all very few times you have to understand the syntax of these things. Okay, this is one of them. This is called I have an array of strings. This is basically what it is in lay speak, okay? I have an array of strings, and the array of strings are basically just going to be, we're going to go to Google and find some random sonnet, and we're going to take the lines of the sonnet, and each line is going to be an array in one of those strings. That's all, okay? That's what I'm trying to create here. Is that clear? Is that reasonably simple? I can break it down further if you want, but you'll see exactly where we're going with that, right? So, all right. So in here, we're going to have the sonnet. Okay, so let's open another tab. Go to Google, and let's search for some uncommon sonnet. Okay, actually just uncommon sonnet. Okay, type uncommon sonnet. All right, I think I want to pick sonnet because it's like 10 lines. It's all we've got these things. Uncommon sonnet. Hey, how about 36? Yeah. Oh, I see. Copies the numbers also. Yeah, okay, we'll have to delete the numbers. Okay. Yeah. Can you get rid of the numbers easily? Yeah, you got to put them all in. Yeah, you need all of them to be in string. All of them are supposed to be strings. Okay, so you need to put them all in double quotes. Is there an
Is
easy
there a
way?
way to select? I know there's a way in like VS Code to select
You
multiple
have to do it
lines
really
at
fast,
once.
I think. No, VS Code
You
will
know,
do it. It's not. I think online GDB is. Yeah, put quotes there. Yeah, go in, indent in and put a quote. Indent into the vector and then put a quote, double quote there. Yeah, and indent into because it's part of the vector. Push it in. Yeah, there you go. Right, and then you need a closing double quote at the end because it's still not. It's not green. The other one the green should be closed before the comma. Just before the comma. All right. So all of them should be strings. All the commas should be white, and all of these guys should be green.
what should I do? Should I put like the
No
semicolon in
semicolon,
here?
all commas, right? So what we're doing is creating an array of strings, okay? An array of strings. The string elements are separated by commas, okay? It's the only new syntax we're dealing with today. Everything else we've done before, okay? And so it'll take a little bit of getting used to, but by tomorrow you'll be, you'll be using this for your breakfast, okay? Yeah, thank you. Oh, it takes this long.
Yeah. Do you know if there's any faster way to do it?
It's a pity with VS Code would have done this. But the website could have made it a whole lot simpler for us by saying, you can just copy and paste it without these pesky numbers. Yeah, maybe that was their, Yeah, they should have given some format options or something. I don't know. We shouldn't be complaining about something that's just given free to us. Yes, they weren't obligated to do this for us.
Speaking of that AI that you mentioned.
What is it?
Your face and to make it look like someone talks.
Oh yeah.
They've already created that.
I'm pretty sure. Because there's all these deep fakes that you can make now. Yes. All right. Okay. So now that we've got an array of strings, what we're going to do is in the main, in fact, yeah. Thank you so much, Ben. Okay. I know it's really hard work doing all this. Right. And after the last one, I don't think you have a comma and you end it. I think this should compile. Okay. I think later versions of C++ may say, or earlier versions of C++ don't compile it. Maybe someone can try it and make sure it works, or find out the C++ compile flag. I think it's -std C++0x or something like that. And that'll make it compile. It's some version of C++. Okay. C++ 11 onwards that will make this compile. All right, so that is a way of declaring a vector of strings in which each of these is a string object. Yeah, that's all we've done. All right, now what we'll do is after this vector, hit enter on line 26, and we'll right off the top of that, we're going to copy that srand statement that Akash explained in his Reddit post. All right, srand, well, I'll just call it out. And yeah, srand, within parentheses, you can say unsigned. Unsigned, not unsigned, 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 no, yeah, right, yeah, space, time, and then open parentheses, and then you say 0 capital L. No, I think we said null pointer. Okay, this is a null pointer, nullptr. All right, semicolon at the end. Right. So, and then we can put a comment there saying this will seed the random number. And actually, Akash made a comment, and also you can go and find out. All right. So now, and we do that in main. We're not going to seed the random number in some function and risk calling that function many times because you never want to seed your random number more than once. Yes, generator. You seed it once, and you do it in main, and then you're guaranteed a random stream after that. Okay. All right. So, all right. So on the next line, what we want to do is say string. Random underscore sonnet line, right? Random underscore sonnet underscore line equals, and you say get random sonnet line, and then you're going to pass it the sonnet as a parameter. You're going to say, yeah, thank you. All right. So Ben has a little bit of experience, I think, because he's actually just typing these things. So I want to make sure that because this class has a wide spectrum. Okay, we have people all the way. So I want to make sure everybody's okay on the same page. If we're not, both of us will slow down. Okay. So really, Ben is just typing as fast as I'm talking. Really, he's not typing super, going ahead. Thank you, Ben. Okay. But at the same time, I'm just reacting to things just happening. And so I want to make sure that we don't leave anybody behind. Okay. Anybody felt left behind, It doesn't matter because we have people that are all over the place. You got it. It's online too. Online too. Okay. Not just, I'm just looking at the class here. Online too. Anybody who feels that we need to go slow, we can do this. Okay. What time is it? We got a lot of time. We got more than almost a half hour. We can finish this and we'll be done. We'll be able to play the game today. Okay. So we can go slower. We can go slower and finish the game and have something to play today. All right. So if we need me to go slower, just let me know. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go otherwise. Okay. All right, get random that we got to implement that. So all that has sonnet. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So it's going to take the sonnet and then it's going to grab a line from that randomly and tell you this is a line. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, hey, you got a question, Raj? No. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So next line. In fact, you can also put a blank line above that, so that srand is separated. All right. So string random sonnet line. Now, what we can say is there you go. So you can say show line at. We'll just do one line for now, okay? Technically, we don't even need the escape codes to position it because we can do, if it's just one line, we can just print it, and then to erase it, we can just, /R, go to the beginning and print lots of spaces. That'll also erase it, yes? That is what we used to do before. But this whole thing with positioning the cursor and move to and all, that would enable us to present pairs of lines. Because, once you get past, I can easily remember, let me confess that we two must be twain, okay? So that is shown for a second, and then, after 5 seconds, it disappears. And then it says, what was that, right? And then I have to remember it and type it. And maybe I get that 5 times over train right in a loop. Right? By the end of the time, the right, if I look at the sonnet and I look at all of the lines in it, I'll see all of them are familiar lines. All I have to do is just the second level memory where I just have to sequence what I already know. Because there's 2 things you have to remember, right? You have to remember the individual words and the order they go in. Because, sonnets have these rhymes and the order. So then you'll find that I already know the words. I only need to sequence it. And eventually you can have a more sophisticated next level of this game is where you don't get individual lines. You get 2 lines at a time. Right? And eventually, I think the sonnet structure is 4 lines, right? You got to get to 4 to get to a cycle or something like that. I don't know, something like that, okay? So you can find the structure in that rhyme and say, I'm going to present all that structure and in 10 seconds to remember all of the words, that structure, right? And then that's like level 7 and you get there. And eventually, the master level, you could be present the whole sonnet for 15 seconds and you got to remember it, right? Very few people will get to that, but it doesn't have to be sonnet. So that could be a drop-down menu and say, I want to select sonnet. And you'll just Google and find lots of interesting sonnets. It could be any poem. It could be anything that you want people to remember. It could even be a simple algebraic problem that you show, and then and it's gone, and you got to solve it in your mind, right? So anything, you can knock yourself out. You can show anything with the other thing that you can actually have a whole rectangle, because you have to say move to X, Y, and then say 50 spaces, 50, and then 50 spaces, new line, 50 spaces, new line, and so on, or whatever it is. So you can do that, or move to, and then move to that next row, and so on and so forth, 50 spaces, and it'll give you a rectangle, like lots of blank spaces, right? And then you can say anything within that is owned by you. And then in there, you can show your entire sonnet for 5 seconds, and then bam, like that, all spaces, and say, now you guess what it is, or you tell me what it is, and they have to type it in. And you don't have no time limit there. You can have them type it in and they hit enter, you compare. That's all we have to do, right? It's entirely doable in the next 10 minutes. Yes? Yes or no? Okay, see, that's all. It's very simple, but we're not going to go all the way there. So show underscore line at, show underscore line at, show underscore line at, show underscore line at. No, show underscore line at, all of them. Show line at, open parentheses. And in there, we want to say, let's just say top left, right? So just say top underscore left, all uppercase, top underscore left, all uppercase for now, right? Like that. Top underscore left, top left, is row and column, top left row, top left row, top left row, top left row, top left column, right? Top left column. And that's where we want to show the line. And the line we want to show is comma, and then random sonnet line, right? So these are things that we're going to implement, and they're all like 2 lines, right? Each one of these things that I say, these are functions, they're all like 2-line functions. We'll do them really, really quickly, and it's very simple because you already know what the hell is going to happen, right? When I say show line at, what are you going to do? the first thing you're going to do in that function is, oh, I got to show the line at this location. So let me first move to that location. Bam, you're going to move saying, you know, I'm going to send the escape code or slash or whatever it is, move to the location. I've moved. Now all I need to do is see out in that location. That's all. That's the only thing that show line at does. You're going to write a function that does that, right? You also need to be able to say show line at, and then you give it a lot of spaces. That will say, you know, erase whatever is already there. So you can use that. So you're going to show the line at. So here's the overall plan. Show the line at, and then you're going to sleep for, do a timer or something exciting, like, Vivian Dad or Rebecca or Panini, just something, you know, some kind of animation. And then that's the time when we're going to remember. We're going to read it really hard. Oh, it's going to remember. It's going to disappear any moment now. I'm going to remember it. Okay. So you're going to read it really hard, and then it disappears. Okay. After it disappears, you're going to print a prompt saying, try to remember what it is and type it in exactly. Okay. That's your prompt. And then you're going to read in a string. Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 more lines in this program. Now you got 2 things. Okay. So you've shown the line, disappeared the line, printed the prompt, asked for them to type it in. Right. Now you got the original line, which was shown and disappeared. And then you got what the user typed in. And then now you can make a comparison. And you say, is this equal to this? If it is equal to, then you say, hooray, you won. Okay. If it's not, you say, this was the original. This is what you typed. Sorry. Okay. That's all. Very simple game, isn't it? Now, once you've got this working, I would suggest that what you would do is just put it in a loop so that you can take the sonnet and you just put it in a loop and keep playing it again and again. It's the same thing. It'll pick different lines. And then after about 50 times of going through it, you'll actually be very familiar with the sonnet, okay? It doesn't have to be this sonnet. Pick anything, right? You'll actually be very familiar because you'll be looking at individual lines and then you'll be trying to recall them. And I think, you know, after a few times, you'll actually be, it'll be fun, I think. This is my theory. I haven't tested it because nobody's actually implemented it. This was the idea. But it's doable, right? In the remaining time of class, it's doable, isn't it? How about I don't say anything at all at this point, okay? Because I've described what we need to do. These functions too, right? Random sonnet line. Does everybody know how to do random sonnet line? This very simple function. All it has to do is take the vector, okay? And knows the size of the vector. Exactly what we're going to do. Exactly what we did when we picked a random vowel. Everybody remember what we did when we picked a random vowel? You got a string. You pick a random number. That random number, which is like a big ass random number, we're going to modulo it by the size of the string so that the remainder is got to be in the index. Yeah? And you do exactly the same thing here. What were we trying to do here? Yeah. Size of the vector. Okay? Maybe the vector has got 10 lines. How many lines does a sonnet have? 10? 10? All right. Maybe it's got 10 elements. Yeah? Yeah. So, but you don't know what the size of the vector is. So you're going to say vector dot size. Okay? That's got you remember. Vector dot size is the same as string dot length. Okay? So you're going to say, give me a random number modulo by the vector dot size. That tells me a vector element that's guaranteed to exist. Okay, that's a line. That's a chosen line. So that, you know, get random line is just one line. It's just one line that says, you know, vector index is equal to random number modulo vector dot size. One line. You can even put it in line in code. That's okay. And someone asked a question, you know, in the forums. When should it become a function of its own? When can I copy paste? Oh, I think Hiram asked this question in when he was doing the platypus quest. That's quest number 9. He's actually a 2B student, right? And he was doing a platypus quest, and he had a question he asked. He's still in the forums. He's moved on to the later question B now, but his question is still open. It's an interesting thing. Anyway, so that's essentially what it is, right? So we're just going to the vector, picking a random element. That's the line. Once we've got the line, we're going to show it at, you know, let's define the constants, right? After int main, after line 10, go to line 10 and hit enter. Yeah, hit enter. Enter. Right? No, just yeah. Thank you. All right, const top left row equals. I think we said 25. I think we said 2550 works. Yeah. 25 row 25 column 50. Yeah, I think that kind of works. You need data types for that, right? So const say size t. Yeah, because we know it's not in negative. Just say size t. Is everybody okay with this? Right, someone asked a question about size t and int, right? You can do some research and find out, but I think we spoke already about that. Yeah, this is one extra bit that is actually made use of in C++. All right, okay. So can you guys finish this up. We got about, we got 20 minutes left, but I think this should take only 10 minutes. Yeah. Can you guys take 10 minutes to write your own version of it, right? So I think maybe Ben can share the URL. Okay. And Ben, you can also develop this. You don't have to unshare your screen. Okay. You can continue to develop this and people can follow your development also if you want, right? If you want me to talk you through this, guys, I'm happy to do that. Okay. I'm happy to talk you through this. But if Ben wants to do it himself, or any of you want to do it yourself too, you just take this, right? You just share the link. Just click on the link and fork it, and you can have your own version. And this is all you're going to do. And you don't have to use the same sonnet. Pick something else. Pick something else. Maybe just for Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Hey, that's easy to win, right? So pick something else, right? Pick a nursery rhyme, and say, well, it's 10-line, 7-line nursery rhyme or something like that, right? 8 lines, and you're going to show one random line at a time.
I just put this link, Professor, to the share to the Reddit.
Oh, in chat.
Oh, in chat. Gotcha.
Oh, I see. No. Sorry. This is good. And Reddit is good. All right. Reddit is good. Hey, just add a few things before you post it, saying this is the code. Please fork it and make your own version or something like that. Yeah. This is the code we're working on. Please fork it and make your own. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's great. That's great. And you can say this is the general. I think you can. What are the Flutter? What's the Flutter we're using for these things? Maybe it's missing the title. No, why is it?
I didn't have it to the CS2A community.
Oh, but why? What is the Flutter? What projects and stuff? Yeah, really cool. We got a Flutter for that. The last one, projects and stuff. And then you can say this is a game. This is the game. This is a code for the men jog game. This is a code for the men jog game. This is for the men jog, right? And capital M is a proper noun. Men jog.
Jog.
All right. Okay. Men jog game. All right. Okay. All right. There you go. You got 2 lines there. You can 2 blank lines. You can get rid of 1. Awesome. Thank you. So please fork it and work on it. And Ben is probably going to work on his own too. And hopefully we'll be able to play this in 10 minutes. Okay. Is it possible? 10 minutes? At least one of you. Great. That's all you got to do, right? Show it, disappear it, ask for, them to remember, and then compare. That's all. It's really cool. I totally did not expect that we'd actually have something exciting like this and also come to fruition at the end of the class. So I'm like super duper happy. Okay. And I'm like eager to look at it because if it works, you can actually, there's a lot of scope for this thing, right? Because you can turn it into an iOS app, right? And you can turn it into an iOS app where an iOS app called Menjog. Is there a poem you're trying to remember? Just, just put the URL here and then it'll show it to you 1 line at a time. And it's in a game fashion. When you're on a train or something like that, you just have to tap, or, and you can use AI, right? No, you can use speech recognition on a phone or any device because when you don't have to type it in. You can say, I'm sure the 2 of you are twain or something like that. I don't know what it ended at twain, right? So you have to say that and it'll recognize with super duper. And it doesn't have to recognize and feed it. It recognizes and let you correct it. And most of the time you don't have to correct it. And all of the APIs available on the phone, Alexa, everywhere, right? Poly, AWS. So you can use voice and say, here's a line. Can you remember it? And then speak it out after it's gone, right? Although if you actually speak it out, maybe it's easier. Because you speak it out and then you remember the audio signal that I don't know. Well, you can play with it. Okay. This, that's why I say the scope is endless. You can turn it into a web app. You can turn it into a mobile app. There's so many things you can do with this. And it actually turns out to be useful too, I think, right? Because it'll be fun to, play something that is mildly addictive, not like super addictive, mildly addictive, but also at the end, you get something out of it. Like, there's something that you wanted to remember. There's a poem that, that is nice to recite and all. You can actually turn this into a musical game too, really. Because, lots of people are also trying to remember certain notes. And so this is the sequence. Can you remember and type the notes out? Those are all the fun directions you can go. Right? How about this? 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes. Okay. We got 10 minutes easily. So how about this? So you guys take away. Hey, Ben, are you working on your own stuff? You just unshared your screen. Yeah.
I'm working on my own, or like the code.
Right. So everybody. Okay. So you can go to the link that Ben shared, click on it and start working on it. I'm going to just shut up. Okay. I'm not going to talk at all. No, I'm just going to, maybe I'll just walk around. I don't have to be here. Okay. Wow. What is this? Magnifier. I never turned it on. Well, that was there all the time. Great. Thank you so much, Ben. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. And just let me know. Okay. Let me know if anybody needs any help. By the way, anybody need any help with coding or any of these things? Just let me know. All right. There's Anthony and Chris. I think they have bandwidth too right now. There's quite a few people who have bandwidth. What's it? I think Israel, you're working on something, right? Oh, you are working on this. There's a few people who here who have bandwidth. Okay. So you have to spend just a little bit about not trying to catch up. Well, so you should just feel free to ask and all. You know?
It's just missing that last one. So it's what it's doing first is it's all the vowels are moving this one. Okay. And then what it's doing is then taking all the that new name that's all flipped up and then reversing it. Oh wow. Yeah. I don't know why it's not doing that. Finally got it.
Still getting my bearings on. So like these first few lines are just defining what is a vowel because I think there's two different. I mean, if you started it.
We'll get it. Let's take a second. What are you trying to do? Oh, it's just putting it.
Just move the first letter to the end and then add an A Y.
Oh, I see that function. Yeah. A Y. Okay.
And then for vowels, I think it's slightly different from it's W A Y. At the end.
So then what you can do is you can do a for loop, and in that for loop, it goes through a capital and capital variants of it. So similar to what I did here. So what I did was it took each letter of the string A.
Yep.
And if it was equal to a space or a dash or something, then it didn't do anything with it. And so the else is that every other character is some dot. Right? Yep. So then I said, okay, for all of the letters that are vowels, if the letter in the name is equal to the letter in the vowel. Yep. And if it's like a specific place, like Q, yep. Then it goes to A, and then it's application is going to go back to space.
Oh, I see.
Right, so just flips it. Otherwise, what it does is it then takes the vowel where it is, and then it goes back one. So what you could theoretically do is you could just copy this, right? Copy this, and then that solves your vowel.
Just get ready. Let me just see. I'll try and get
And then there is all of this. Like a checking game, this happens. There. Okay. Now let's go back to the yeah, so here, all you have to do is return. So it's a game. So you give it an input
The second is checking.
Yeah, it's again.
It's like a flashcard.
Oh.
Yeah, like Quizlet.
Got it. I guess the main one is that you're running it. Okay, so that is the query. That's all. That's all. So I think in this case, run.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all it does is
Oh, and then you have those like visual effects.
Like right over that. Right over. Then something's called. It's going to get this vector as an argument. Yeah. Given a vector like that. The vector has a bunch of strings in it. Yeah. That is it. Yeah. And you're giving it to the function. Okay. You remember? Right? And then vector. Oh no, vector dot size. Vector. And it's size. Yeah. That size is automatically. Vector dot size tells you how many elements are. So if it's 10, it's going to say this. Okay. So rand gives you a big number. The rand percent is going to be a number between 0 and 1. And so you're returning the element at that number index. So vector of 0 or vector of 2, whatever that number is. That's all it's doing. It's getting a random number, a random index, and it's returning the element there. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. You have to tear it for a long time, okay? Because new terminology and also this combination. It's not very common. It's common, but it's not intuitive and straightforward. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why it's important. It's common. That's why it's important. Yeah. But you'll see that a lot. When picking random elements, even when you go to some language like JavaScript and say, give me a random element from this array. Essentially, that's what it's doing. Hey, Kira, are you good? Okay. Hi. Okay. Begin. Yeah, sure. No worries. I wonder if I should be coaching you to do individual things because all the online students will miss out. But let me take a look, really quick look, okay? This is really tempting for me too. But anyway, anyone who has got bugged in there. When I used to working, when I have an interesting bug, even if it's a regular expression thing, and some of my colleagues are walking around and I say, oh, I got something there. Oh, I'll just rush in there and say, oh, let's take a look. Okay, all right. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay? Don't worry about it now. Okay? Because vectors, we're going to cover it in great detail in the next class. And it's Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to do this. And we're going to be here, not online until this time. Right? So we'll do a lot of detail on vectors. In fact, I'll talk you through the details of how vectors are even managed in real memory. Right? So how they're contiguous and how you jump and all, and the power of vectors, because vectors really the most powerful data structure you can ever have in computer science, no matter what language you know, because it gives you constant time access to the elements. That's probably the best you can get. It's like just getting a local variable. So that is the best. And every algorithm you learn later on, it's just in some way, it's trying to get towards that. Because most of the things we'll do later on is you cannot get constant time. You have to go to linear and things like that. We'll learn later on 2B and 2C especially. So it'll be fun. So vectors are one of the most important, easiest to learn. It's like it is like one of those do-it-all wrenches that you can get at Home Depot. That is not really a sophisticated tool, but it does a lot like that too. But it's an essential thing. You need to know. It is so simple to use, and but it's really powerful. So everybody should know at the very least how to use a vector, and because it's so simple and easy. Because you get a lot done just using vectors. And all the things we know so far, like loops, branching, vectors, that is, already a great deal. So yeah, next week, we'll just focus on vectors as much as possible, okay? So don't worry about it. Really, vectors are for next week. This week, we're just supposed to wrap up branching and looping. But yeah, keep all of you, right? As you're progressing on the question too, don't forget about the Reddit, okay? Lots of people, you losing points because if you've just been a stranger on Reddit for 3 weeks now already, it's 3 weeks into class. It's only 12 weeks, okay?
and it's 15 points, and it's not just enough coming to class. You got to be active on the Reddit, because even if you come to class, it's all evaporated. Okay, by the end of the quarter, gone. Yes, Juliana.
I'm a little confused with Reddit because, like, I see questions that I know the answer, but they're already answered. So
Oh, you should totally share your own perspective, even if it's the exact same answer that someone else has said. You can basically, chime in and say, hey, that's what I thought too, right? Yeah, totally. You should take every single opportunity to be out there. Yeah, and do stuff and engage with other intelligent people, right? And I think that is in our class we got lots and lots of really cool people. Okay, lots of people who know their, or at least interested in learning, especially maybe because of the time slot and all, that lots of people are able to make it at this time. But we have a lot of people who actually know what's going on, interested, excited about these things. So if you have an opportunity like that, you should never ever let it slip by and say, I'm still going to be in a silo and do my stuff and only interact with them as much as necessary. That's a total waste, right? Because even if the course only costs $150, the company of these people around you is really, really just priceless, because you're having the opportunity to interact with other intelligent people who are also interested in the same kinds of problems. Maybe they're forced upon them, but still interested in the same kind of problems. So it's interesting and useful opportunities I think you should not let by simply. A lot of students tend to overlook it because, as there's lots of distractions when you're in students. So yeah, please do that. And also this class, I like this class very much, right? Because it has a wide variety of people, beginners, people experienced, in some other field. They've done a lot of stuff, and now they say, well, you know what, I've been using computers. I want to learn about computers too, right? How they do these things. So already bringing a lot of experience that way and all. And also, student hackers. I've never had this variety. Okay, when I do my 8 a.m. classes, they're all like, most of them are 90% of them are like high schoolers and first year, second year Foothill students. But this time I'm actually very happy with the class because we have a big mix. And I think it is a success for Foothill. Okay, because all said and done, this section at 6 p.m. was really an experiment, because Zach was not sure that this will be successful if we offered it this time. And he said that, lots of people, cancel, drop, and then we'll have to cancel the section. So I agreed to say, well, every computer science person has 1 quarter with one fewer course they have to teach. And I said, if we cancel 1 fewer course, I will teach this quarter. That's fine. But nobody canceled. Nobody dropped. I'm very pleased. So it is actually a successful experiment. It'll be more successful if you actually chime in on the Reddit and be lively and share more interesting things. It'll be valuable to you too, right? When you do the final report at the end. So don't let it slip by, because I know if you're doing other classes, other homework, you got to get all the essays done and so on and so forth. Just set a reminder, however you do it, I don't know, right? Do it so that you come back to it once every 2 days at the most, right? You have got to come back to it every day, really. Maybe get up a couple of hours early if necessary. You've got to get to it every single day. It's just familiarity. Even if you don't make progress, doesn't matter. Even if you don't make progress, just in your face every single day. I think that will make a huge difference, okay? You'll tell me, I'm pretty sure. At the end of this quarter, you'll tell me. And, many of you, I think. Right? And thank you so much, okay? Zach, thank you for sharing the screen. People are getting ready to go. And Ben, you too. You guys have got your own versions of this code now, this game. We'll come back to this game next quarter, and next class on Tuesday. We're going to be here, right? However, before that, share a version of this game. Also, your make a name, right? Share them all on the Reddit and say, hey, here's a version of my Menjog, right? Menjog by Kiera. Right? Maybe it has a slightly different twist to it. Maybe you do Miyazaki, something like that, right? So just pick a different thing. Not everybody doesn't have to be a sonnet, but you have the basic idea. Show something, disappear it, ask them to remember. It could be anything now. So each one do your own with your own creative twist. You can also inject art now, right? Because now you know how to control the cursor. You can sleep. You can actually have characters flying towards each other one step at a time, right? So you do all these crazy, freaky things, right? You can do a little function that says show a design, 5-second design, right? And in 5 seconds, characters are going to shuffle around on screen. So all of those fun things you can do, and knock yourself out. I think the trick to mastering computer science is just to discover more and more ways to have fun. Any art, really. Thank you all so much. Right, I'm going to see you all. Helen, thank you. All right. So but I will be picking people who haven't had a chance to go so far, but I might forget a few, and so remind me at those times. Okay. All right. Thank you all, and thank you all for switching your cameras on, and it's very nice. You know, I can see the recording will be nice. I hope it records. You know, the gallery. We'll see. Thank you all. I'm going to end the meeting. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.